G'day, Joe here again. I'm going to do a video on my new project. It's about bikes again. As you can see with this mess in front of us, I've been doing some things here. Now, as you probably know, I'll show you a couple of things. This has been my bike ride for the last probably, well, 5-6 years, and I've done quite a few videos on this Motan ad motor fat tyre bike, 20-inch fat tyre bike, and I've done pretty well much of everything that I want to do on this thing. It's a terrific bike. I like mucking around with things. I don't like spending a huge amount of money on doing things. I like doing things myself, making do, and I put on this 52 volt pack on this motorbike. Sorry, feels like a motorbike. On this e-bike, and it's been great. Now the only problem with it, I'm a bit of an oldie, and it's got no suspension. See, there's nothing at the back here, and there's no suspension at the front. The only cushioning I get, I suppose, is a bit from the size of the tyres. The fat tyres provide a bit of cushioning, and I've got a cushion suspension seat post. But I like going down dirt tracks and things, and the jarring really gets to my back. I'm a bit of an oldie, and the old body doesn't cope with it too well anymore. So what with that and all this virus stuff that's been going on and isolation, I decided on a new project. And so what I did was I got myself a second-hand dual suspension bike, one with a bit of cushioning on it. There's suspension at the back and suspension forks at the front. And I've decided to try a different drive system. And I bought myself one of these Bafang mid-drives. And it's kind of fitted. Well, fitted. I began this yesterday, and this is as far as I got. I had to muck around with spacers and things to try to get the crank to have a bit of play there, a bit of a gap between that and the chainstay. Very, very close at the moment. I might have to add some more spacers, but I can just clear that chainstay. And I had to get a small chainring to suit, wouldn't fit the original one that comes with these Bafang motors. Anyways, I'm not going to bore you with the details of assembling one of these things, because there are a million YouTube videos already on assembling that, and this is as far as I got with mine. And you'll notice that I've got something strange here. I can't fit a battery inside the frame. I've got to stick it underneath, and I found there's plenty of clearance between the wheel and its suspension and that bottom bar to provide space for a battery in between. And of course, as usual, I don't go for the standard stuff. I don't buy the appropriate things. I'm ending up putting this sort of a battery on there. There it is there. It's a battery off a scooter. It's a 48 volt 14 amp hour battery that I'm going to house, and that's, oh, it's a bit hard doing this one handed. I'm going to house it kind of in the slot here and strap it. Oh, I'll show you when I've got it in place. So there's the beginnings of it. These are all the bits that came with it. Oh, there's the original crank arms removed. There's some of the bits that came with the motor. All a bit of a mess in here at the moment. But yeah, the bike is a Polygon Polygon dual suspension mountain bike. I got it off someone that I met one day while I was out riding my e-bike in the park. I'd been looking for a dual suspension bike and thought, if I'm going to put a fairly expensive mid-drive motor on it, I may as well get a reasonably good one. And looking, I never buy things new, looking at second-hand stuff on Gumtree and eBay, I couldn't find anything suitable, and they're all very expensive, you know. Even very old ones were sort of in the $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 mark. And then I met this fellow in the park one day who was riding an electric bike. We got talking, and he said, I've got a dual suspension bike that I bought a couple of years ago. It's 2017 or 18, and I don't use it anymore. You can buy it off me," which I did, and I got it for about half price. They're not expensive. They're sort of a beginner's cross-country mountain bike type thing. Yeah, it's not bad. It goes nicely. It's 11 speed, hydraulic brakes. So yeah, I'm doing the conversion on this. Now I'll just stop for now. This is as far as I've got at this stage. I'll show you when I've got the thing complete, and you can have a bit of a laugh at how I attach the battery, and yeah, see how it goes. Thank you. Now, just to show you the other thing that I'm doing as I'm doing this, I pulled the chain off while I was doing the fitment of the Bafang motor. There's the chain there, and I thought, good opportunity to give it a nice clean and to do that thing that the experts recommend, and that's to lubricate it with paraffin wax. Paraffin wax, a mixture of paraffin wax and paraffin oil, which I've kind of already done in there. Now I'm going to use this heater to heat up some of this wax and to dip the chain in it to see how that works. They reckon that once you've got that on, you don't get all that dirt attracted to your chain. So here's the chain. I'm just going to leave that down here for a moment while I sort this out. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to use all of this wax. I'm just going to take out a bit of it, break a bit off, and melt that. Stick it on there, turn this up to, I've got this turned on. No, I haven't. Better turn it on. Okay, that's warming nicely. Okay, back in a minute. I won't once again bore you with the whole process. I'll come back and dip the chain in when that's molten. That's what I'm going to melt, that amount of wax. There we go, it's melting nicely. It's getting a bit warm. Just to show you. There's how the wax is looking. Getting a bit smoky, so I'm going to have to turn it off. I don't want it to overheat. There we go, put the chain in there. Not deep enough. I might put a little bit more in. I reckon you've got to let it sit there for a while so that it penetrates. There's a little bit more. Turn this back on again. There we go. Sure it's hot enough to melt. Our YouTube experts reckon it's the best lube for these chains. Okay. There we go. I'll turn the camera off and show you the chain when it comes out. I've set it around quite a bit, so the wax should have gotten into pretty well all of it. I reckon watch the little air bubbles as the air comes out of the joints and is replaced by wax. There's the chain. Been soaking in the wax for about 10 minutes, and it's pulled out nice and hot. Give it a bit of an external wipe. Now this is what the wax ended up looking like. Pretty dirty. Obviously I didn't clean the chain well enough, even though I thought I did. I gave it a couple of baths in petrol, and the petrol was quite clean at the end of it, but with a bit of heat and the wax applied, it's gotten quite a bit of the dirt out. And I'll have to keep this wax separate from the nice clean stuff. Don't know if I'll be able to reuse it. It's got little bits of dirt in it. Anyway, that's a bit of an interlude in the installation of that kit. Thought I might as well do things right from the start. Well, here's the bike pretty well completed now. Now, as you can see, there's my homemade battery attachment. I'm not able to stick it in between the triangular frame, so I've had to put it underneath, and it's there. I've got to strap it on, of course, because you don't want to rely on the supports of the screws. It's that top bit there, that kind of a U-bracket, is screwed to the water bottle holder. There's a couple of screws under the frame, which is a strange place to put water bottles, but there you go. And the battery sort of slots into that U-shaped bracket that I found. It was a fairly heavy plastic thing that I got off something. It was a vacuum cleaner, a blower vacuum cleaner, old one that I had that had a fitting on it, and I modified it. So anyway, there it is. Now I've tested already that the wheel doesn't touch the battery there, even with the suspension fully down. I blew all the air out of the shocks and had it at its lowest setting, and found that I could fit the battery there. That's all right. Now the last thing I did today, actually, I've been riding it around to just try it out. It goes quite well. The last thing I did today was I fitted the gear sensor just there. It was the easiest place for me to fit it. See if it focuses. There it is there. And yes, I'm about to try it out. I've only just finished fitting that. I didn't stick it at the back like most people do. That's where the cable comes out for the gear changing. So I'm about to try it. Okay, now let's see if we can hear the motor cutting out as I applied the... I'm on throttle at the moment. See if I start changing gears. It's only on a low level at the moment. It's not as fast as it should go, so I have to crank it up a bit. See if it works alright. Ah, yes, works beautifully. Okay, so I've taken the bike out of the shed just so that you can see it without all the other confusing rubbish that's in there. That's what the final result looks like. Battery looks a bit awkward, but I'll probably buy a proper battery one day, but for the time being that one works beautifully and it's part of my makeup. I like making do with things. I've got this battery, so why not use it? This thing here, just in case you wonder what that's for, that's just so I can take the car on the back, take the bike on the back of my car on the carrier. Protects it. The clamp is where that sort of fits underneath the clamp, so it protects the paint a little bit. And that's my toolkit at the moment. Anyway, that's it. Now the only other thing I could film is me going for a ride. Okay, that'll do for now.